Step into the spectrum where the quiet learn to speak. Where cowards lose their cover and the bold become unique. Black pages birth the light. Every pigment takes its role. If you came here once unseen, this art will make you whole. Welcome to the canvas where excuses come to die. Where ink comes down to timid and colors testify. No shelter in the palette, broken edges forge you whole. This is conversations in color and I am Unfold the Soul. Yeah. And I am Unfold the Soul.
Welcome to Conversations in Color with Unfold the Soul. I'm Ken Williams. Behind me is my hand-drawn art. And each week, I'm going to let the art speak. We have conversation. Not a whole lot else to it. I'm actually excited to see and discover what this is trying to become. Before I go to the wall, I wanted to put a button on the first episode. If you remember, we talked about leader demographics and how during my virtual PD, I asked for all the superintendent and principals credit score and zip code. And I have to tell you, I've been doing this work a long time as an expert. And I work at being an expert. But man, that virtual PD took me from feeling like an expert to feeling like a teacher. I mean, now, like classroom teachers, I showed up. I took the job believing that my job is to go in and deliver my strongest instruction every day and be all about my content expertise. And that's what I did. I showed up ready to talk about leadership. And I took the lead of school and district leaders. And instead of starting with my expertise, I said, let me do what they ask teachers to do. And I asked for, I built relationships by asking you about your background. And whew, when I tell you, man, like I went from someone feeling like driven by purpose, like by my own expertise, but, and that's what teachers do. But then leaders tell teachers all about kids' backgrounds, and man, I took a few notes. Like, we tell teachers, deliver your strongest instruction, but remember where our kids came from, okay? So our kids are poor. Based on the data I collected around your credit score and your zip code, 4 of you are house poor. You tell the teacher there's 17 reading levels. And I'm telling you, 16 y'all got car payments that are in collections. There are 4 superintendents that are on my virtual call. You driving more car than you can afford. You driving more car. Our kids have been through a lot. Some of y'all going through a lot right now. There's some of you. You're gonna be surprised if your house is there when you get home. And our kids are on a tight budget. Shit, based on. There are 2 superintendents on that virtual call. Your credit score is so bad, I'm trying to figure out how a board put a budget in front of you. I mean, it is, and it just made me sad because I came in thinking I was going to hit you with my strongest leadership content. And then, like, I got a sense of what the privilege felt like. 2 of y'all, how are you in debt to Amazon, nigga? How are you in debt to Amazon? How does that happen? 2 of you got debt to Amazon. 2 of you got Amazon removed your buy it now button. 2 of you check out at Amazon. Amazon say, you sure? Like Amazon want to know. Insane late car payment history. Again, how you got trusted with a budget. There are definitely some Amazon addictions. And I feel like a teacher because I came in as an expert, and I thought my job was to deliver my strongest expertise. And now I just feel almost like a hunchback burden Because I'm looking at how some of y'all are so well dressed, knowing that you 2 paychecks from the street. I know it. I can see it. And I'm asking myself, as like an expert in the real world, why the hell would I burden myself with that? I mean, I can't. Knowing your leadership background, knowing your work challenges, that's the stuff I need to know about. But knowing where some of y'all live, I'm not supposed to know that. Because what it does, and I imagine this happens with teachers, I feel guilty about giving you my strongest instruction. So all this meet kids where they are. There's no way I'm going to be able to meet. Do you know I texted my man Bruce over at Edward Jones and asked him, can you take on 3 more clients? That's what I'm thinking about. I should be thinking about my leadership content, right? The activities I'm going to engage you in, your outcomes, your expertise. Instead, I'm texting my financial man saying, can you take on 3 more? Because I got 3 here who are in trouble. They look good, they smell good, but I'm telling you that you're going to look up and the repo man going to have a car. What are we talking about here? Here's the bottom line. Experts in the real world aren't burdened with the backgrounds of the people in the audience, of the people they're teaching. I can't imagine being my best self knowing all this shit about you. Knowing you don't need to renew the lease on that car. I'm supposed to focus on my expertise. Knowing that you nice nasty, you nice here looking good today, no, but I'm praying that you kept the tags on some of those clothes. So why do you burden my teachers with that? In the name of data. Fontaine's background is as important, his personal background is as important as me knowing your credit score and your debt to income ratio and the amount of consumer debt you hold. None of that is my business. And none of a student's background is a teacher's business, leaders. And now it's time to go to the wall, because what I know is that this isn't personal. This is about, let's go to the wall. The wall's dynamic, so I'm always moving things on and off of it. They make a bunch of jokes and stuff about your credit history, but there are way too many good people who become leaders and end up unintentionally doing terrible shit to teachers. And what I know is that it's not personal, it's not intentional, it's because of this. The pursuit of ensuring learning for every student is impossible. And we use demographics to explain why. Not impossible like difficult, because I don't mess around with symbolism. It's impossible. And I'm the first to admit it. Listen, in all my work, I always know it's always going to come back to my workforce, because my workforce is my work. I can talk about kids all day long, but it's laying out for my teachers. That's where we're going to get any semblance of results. But I'm the first to tell you, the cover of my book, the tagline, ensuring learning for every student. This is what I've discovered since writing Ruthless Equity, is that ensuring learning for anyone is impossible. And Leaders prove it's impossible by bringing up demographics. There is no other reason you bring up demographics but to explain why your teachers don't have the capacity to make black kids better or help get more white kids across the finish line. Every time one of you tell me, our Latino boy data is better, I'm like, really? You know different ones coming next year, right? And which one stood up and had the players only meeting and said, damn it, that's enough of this shit, Latino boys. We're going to get our shit together and we're going to jump up by 8%. So this fraudulent shit called subgroups can look like it's working. Teachers are experts. They walk in as experts. And experts don't get burdened with background. And Leadership 101, you don't focus on things you cannot control. I know I had a lot of fun with the whole credit score and the zip code, but the bottom line is that is mental cruelty. That is mental cruelty to hire an expert and constantly, you hire my teachers as experts and constantly, every mention of a demographics, you telling my teachers they're not enough. And it's because you're chasing this. You're chasing a mission that is impossible. But kids are so damn cute, and is and everybody gets and everybody. Who's going to speak up against that? I'm not speaking up against it. I'm speaking up that it's impossible. Now, the only thing to do with an impossible mission is to replace it with a possible one. Can I have that? This should be the mission of every school and district in America. The mission of every school and district is to serve teachers as they test and refine the impact of their strongest instruction. Serve teachers as they test and refine the impact of their strongest instruction. Because at the end of the day, that's all teachers got. It's her strongest instruction. And to burden my teachers with tons of shit they cannot control that you don't even stand behind. No, that's not going to work. An expert's not supposed to know a bunch of stuff about a kid's about their learner's background. Experts don't get burdened with that. Experts are paid to be experts, and experts always deliver their strongest instruction. Right now, you got my teachers, got kids auditioning for a teacher's strongest instruction based on how they smell and what they look like, what side of town they're from. That's not going to work. I've been saying this for a couple of years now, man, and you got to come up from behind Jose's house and get back over to the school. Because this all about kids is this. All about kids means you can't be about my teachers. And since you all about kids, the folks you cannot control, the people who change every year, the people who have all the circumstances you have no say in, no impact on, I'm going to be about your teachers. I'll be about your teachers. And I don't ever want to walk out of a session feeling like a teacher again. I want to feel like a teacher expert, because that's what they are. Content experts. Stop asking them for milk. Content experts. Self-directed content experts. We're gonna unpack more of that soon. But for now, understand that ensuring learning is impossible. Our schools are supposed to be known for what teachers get to do inside them. Leaders, you're supposed to be about the people you hire. Not sitting out in front and taking a poll of all the ailments coming up, because those are only kids you about, by the way. You ain't about kids, you're about circumstances. And you're so detached that your kids are nothing but labels, and you barely call them by name. All the categories. The ELs, good Lord, I'll never move to holy shit, I cannot imagine moving to this country. The ELs, you treat them like they're a disease. The blacks, the low, the everything. When none of that matters. Because none of it precludes you from delivering your strongest instruction. And so stop messing with my teachers' minds. Their expertise is supposed to be what matters, not a kid's background. Which means you got to stop measuring bullshit. The idea that you can evaluate a system on factors you cannot control, man, that is Universal Studios, baby. And my assignment is to provide artistic smelling salts. I make pretty shit that bites. And I look forward to seeing what unfolds in the next episode. In the meantime, teachers are experts from the moment you hire them. Your job is not to fix them, it is to unfold their expertise. You serve them. And teachers, the mark of a teacher is that every student becomes a victim of your strongest instruction. There ain't no tears. There is only your strongest instruction. I'm looking forward to next week, baby. Let me see if I got all my jokes out. I told you that one and that one. I look forward to it, man. Experts aren't burdened with the background of learners. Experts are burdened with delivering their strongest instruction. I look forward to next episode. And may the bridges I burn light the way.
And I am a